Hello everybody, this is Nice, and today is day 15 of Inktober, which means we're officially halfway through the challenge. Well, kind of. I mean, there's 31 days, but close enough, right? So that's great. But today's theme was mysterious, and let me just say right off the bat that the drawing I came up with was not in any way steampunk. Like, I've kind of tried to pass off a few of the others as steampunk, even though they weren't exactly, but no, this is not steampunk at all. Like, there's nothing that defines it as steampunk. So, well, that's that. But I mean, I actually sketched this one up beforehand just because I was doing it on the weekend and I had some spare time. And I tried to think of something steampunk, but I felt like it wasn't necessary and it sort of just cluttered it. But actually I had a lot of trouble coming up with an idea for this at first because I wanted to do something with a mask, but the prompt for one of the other days in the challenge, I think it's the last day of the challenge actually, is mask. So that would mean I'd have to come up with a different idea for mask, and I think I just get confused, I guess. So I tried to stay away from masks but find other interpretations of being mysterious. And what I found was, like, masks are viewed as mysterious because you can't see a person's face, and that means that their identity is secret, therefore they are mysterious. So going along a similar tangent is I had people's faces kind of half showing through, I guess they'd be like silk, I guess. But it also looks a bit like smoke, so it's like appearing behind smoke and mirrors or something like that. I don't really know. But and I thought it was a really good idea, only it wasn't steampunk, so that failed a bit. I actually liked the sketch in this one better than the finished illustration. I just think it wasn't, like, the finished illustration wasn't quite dark enough and there was too much contrast, which made it less mysterious, I suppose you could say. Also, I later on touched it up with some brush pen, and I probably shouldn't have done that. I think I should have used ink wash instead. So, like, sometimes brush pen works better, but sometimes ink wash works better, so I guess I just need to learn the difference a bit more. But hey, that's the point of the challenge, right? Learn from your mistakes. Optimism. Also, I thought part of I think I did make the concept was good, as in it was very mysterious, which kind of fits into the theme. But apart from that, I didn't like the way I rendered it very much, and I didn't like I didn't like that it didn't have anything steampunk in it, because that was kind of my personal goal. But yeah, I think it's also made more mysterious that instead of like a mask would cover your entire face, but because the silk kind of only partially covers the people's faces, it makes it more mysterious because it looks like they're like watching. It's kind of more ominous, I suppose. Yeah, I think I might actually play with this idea later. It was really interesting to do. I mean, also I'm kind of glad I've been learning how to draw people lately, otherwise I wouldn't have had a hope doing the faces, and I'm pretty sure they're mostly wrong anyway, but they still look like people, so that's good. Yeah. I don't have really much. Oh yeah. Actually, never mind. Scratch that. I do. So I used 3 different pens in this. I used my 2 uni pin fine liner pens. I kind of outlined it differently. I did everything in 0.3 first, and then I went in and added the tiny folds in the silk with the 0.1. That's the other thing I wasn't so happy about. I love it when artists like put in all the folds in the silk. An artist who does this really well, I think I've mentioned her in another video in this challenge actually, is Danica Sills. But I just couldn't do it. It just looks too even when I do it. It looks like I'm just putting lines in, it doesn't look like actual folds. So I need to learn how to do that differently so that it looks more like folds, and I guess that's also part of the learning experience of Inktober. But yeah, I did all the minute folds and details in a 0.1 and all the other main lines in 0.3. Maybe I should have done the faces in 0.3 as well, but I actually did them in 0.1 just because they're quite small and I didn't want to lose any definition on them. I then used the brush pen to put in some of the shadows, because I felt like it just felt like there was something missing, and I don't think the brush pen really helped that much, but still, it was interesting, I suppose. I guess one thing that the brush pen did help with is I put the brush pen on the eyes and lips of the people who are kind of just like looking out, because it did bring a lot of focus, but I don't think the brush pen worked really well on the fabric. On the fabric, I definitely should have used ink wash with like a brush. So that's what I learned. Also, another thing I tried was I know I mentioned the rule of threes in the previous one, where you have 3 elements in a composition and it makes it really dynamic. This time I tried something else, because I mean there are 5 faces, and I guess I've extended the rule of 3 to just odd numbers in general. So obviously 3 is like A, the simplest, and B, the most dynamic of all of them, because it's got the most dynamic angles. But like, I feel like any odd number theoretically would work in a similar fashion. Whereas if you have an even number, it feels almost too balanced, and then it's difficult to... it's more stiff, I suppose. And I'm definitely not an expert on this at all. I just I don't know, I really enjoy experimenting with like composition and stuff, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, I kind of heard this sort of food advice in a few places, but it's not exactly what I mean. I'm not very good at making myself clear though, so you know, don't mind me. But yeah, that brings us to almost the end of the video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. And the theme for tomorrow is going to be fat. I've already sketched out my idea. It should be quite funny. It's kind of like a glutton robot, but you'll see that then. If you liked the video, please like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do really. I don't really mind. But if you're considering supporting my art, then I'm gonna direct you to my Patreon, because yeah, I offer a lot of great rewards, and I don't have very many supporters either. So if you want to like talk to me at all, that's an ideal opportunity. So see you in the next video.